In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 5 of Reboot titled What We Do in the Shadows. It's an interesting title since there's another show called What We Do in the Shadows. And basically, in this episode, there are three stories happening at one time. One story is with Reed and Gordon, the other is with Hannah and Zach, and the other being Clay and Bree. Now, the story between Reed and Gordon is basically that Reed is always trying to get Gordon's opinions about certain things about the script, but Gordon always wants to get out of the situation. So he basically says, "Oh, I need a pen. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a pen." And he leaves. Reed notices this. And then with Hannah and Zach, basically, Zach is having problems, and he has this girlfriend who has his dog named Butternut, and his ex Marcy has the dog. So he goes to Hannah and asks for advice on what happens. And Hannah and Zach go to Marcy and try and figure out what to do with Butternut. Now, Clay and Bree, Clay has to go somewhere, but Bree calls him because Bree is at this retreat or some kind of women's night where she evidently takes mushrooms and she's freaking out. So Clay has to go pick her up. And as he picks her up, he has to go to this thing. We find out that Clay is going to an AA meeting and he's 30 days sober. Bree sneaks in and says, "Hey, great AA meeting, yay, I'm on mushrooms." It's a great, funny skit, and that Clay and Bree stories are really funny, but it's just simple and to the point, and seeing Bree freak out on mushrooms is absolutely hilarious because she's always seeing dragons. And the story with Reed and Gordon, basically, Hannah says to her father, "Listen, let's go out tonight. Let's go to this restaurant where they make Caesar salad in front of you." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, okay." So he gets there and he sees Reed sitting there. And then you realize Hannah set this up for them to talk it out and talk about it. And the waiter is an old man, and it's a running joke. And basically, Gordon says to Reed, like, that you are funny. It's just all these comedic actors, you have that timing and you're really funny. And Reed notices that Gordon is complimenting him. So Reed returns the compliment back. So basically, both of them are becoming one as a friendship and as a unit and understanding how the work environment works between the two of them. Now, the Hannah and Zach situation is really funny. Marcy, the ex to Zach, she invites him in, and it's like all these little like how Marcy put it, celebrity themed toys. And Hannah's like, "Okay, you know what? Give him back his dog and everything." And Marcy's like, "Okay, fine." So we see Zach putting on like these like construction gloves, you know. The dog comes out, and it's this like firecracker of a dog that like just keeps biting you, and Hannah's reaction is hilarious. She just goes, "What the fuck?" Like, it's pretty straightforward and simple. And they Hannah is also having gloves, and she holds the dog while Zach and Marcy try and figure out the custody battle or plan with what the butternut's supposed to be. So they say like, "Oh, you can have them on certain days, this and that," and that's that story. So three stories going on at one time, but it's done well within the 27 to 30 minute mark that this show is. It's in your face. It's funny. The humor is dry, and there's a funny throwback, or there's a funny part where Gordon and Reed are walking, the Hollywood, the Strip, and the Walk of Fame with the stars on it. They see Chuck Lorre's name, and then Gordon goes, "All these shows, I couldn't get anything because Chuck Lorre took over." So he tries to, pee on the star. Gordon can't do it. But Reed's like, "No, you know what? Since we're best friends now, I'm going to do it for you." So he just starts going, and there's a steady stream, and it's hilarious. They get stopped by the cops, and it's a whole pretty funny gag. Like I said, great comedy. The writing is pretty simple and straightforward. I love comedy shows like this that get their point across within the half-hour mark, and it's really easy to understand. You don't have to, dive deep into the story. Paul Reiser is great. It's great to see him in a comedy. Keegan-Michael Key is great. I'm really surprised to see Johnny Knoxville in a show like this. That's also great. And Rachel Bloom as Hannah Corman is phenomenal. Judy Greer doing a show like this, she's known for her movies and comedy timing, is fantastic as Bree. And Zach as the actor who plays Zach, Caleb Worthy, is also really, really fun. So everybody has their own unique way of doing certain things, and they each have their own way of portraying themselves on screen, especially when the comedy is right and the comedy is timing. It's very dry humor comedy, but it's good to a point where you know yourself, okay, should you laugh at this part? Should you not laugh at this part? But the way they deliver their lines is absolutely great. I love this show and I'm having a great time with it. This is an 8-episode first season. I'm really curious to see if this gets picked up for a second season because it is a Hulu original and it's Hulu making fun of themselves, as you know if you saw the first episode. So, episode is going to be interesting. Few episodes left, so let's see what happens. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 5 of Reboot. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Did you like the comedy? Did you like the 3-part story structure that was happening between all 6 characters in this episode? What story was your favorite? Which was your least favorite? And what do you think is going to happen in the rest of this show? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 6 review of Reboot.